All right, what's going on, everybody? So this is literally the second time, well, the third time I'm actually doing this. So hopefully this one works out well. So what's going on, everybody? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over what we call monthly and weekly key levels. All right, now this is key information that I'm going to be going over right now, and I would definitely, if anything, take the time to go over this or to do this. What I've seen is the fact that you probably do this probably one time a year, at the most 2 times a year. But especially when you're going to go and like work on a brand new chart, like, and you're dedicating to just, if anything, strictly focus on that one chart. So what I'm doing is right now, I'm actually focusing on GU. I made a good amount of money on GU, and I'm like, you know what? It's flowing with me. So if anything, I'm just gonna stick with this one. All right. So this is what's going to be like the final product. Forget about this blue line and stuff like that. This is just these blue lines. These are just some trend lines that I found after I finished. This is gonna be like the finished product. So I'm just gonna show you how I came up with this. First is going to be like a foundation. Then there's going to be zones around that foundation. So what are monthly and weekly key levels? So the largest type of support and resistance is going to be on the monthly and weekly time frames. All right. So what this is going to be able to do is help us look at the broad look of the market, where we could be able to still apply our technicals like Fibonacci and stuff like that, just on a larger time frame, so we could be able to build a better case on lower time frames as far as what we think may happen. Because what you'll tend to see is like consolidation in certain areas that form around these key levels, right? And I'm just going to show you exactly where to place these, right? And you'll start to find, like, once you find the foundation, you're going to, if anything, go away from that foundation. I'm going to show you how to be able to do that. So first of all, what we're going to be doing is placing our foundation around specific things, whether it be like touches, right? Where you see is a level of support somewhere and a level of resistance somewhere, something along the lines of like this. See a level of support right here and a level of resistance right here. So this is like a touch right there, right? Then you there's a second situation that'll be like a gap, and that gap can look like okay, so gap. I'm not finding any gaps, honestly. All right, I'm not finding any gaps. All right, well, just know that a gap could be like this. You know, space in between, the same space in between. You just find the median in between those, and then it overlaps. Okay, so you'll find a level of support that passes through some level, and then level of resistance, and it's like the same distance. Let's see if I can find an overlap. All right, you want to find it on both sides. I'm not finding an overlap as well. Right? There's mostly touches and a whole bunch of wicks and stuff like that and consolidation. Okay. So what I would definitely suggest is right click and then go to remove and then go to all indicators and drawing tools. Okay. And I'm going to start out with our foundation. Okay. So as we can see, this is like a blank slate. I'm on the monthly time frame and I'm using my template as far as how I like to have my charts. What I'll definitely suggest is watch the video that explains how to set up your charts to be as clean as this one. In my opinion, it just works out well. So what I want to do is I first want to start out with my foundation, right? And from that foundation, and mind you, I'm just going to look for where I see price is around pretty often. And you want to make sure that the gap between your foundation is nothing more than 1,000 pips. You know, like you can do, you know, 1,200, 1,400 pips based upon GU because it moves a lot, right? But things like AU, nothing more than 1,000 pips. EU could be a little bit more, but just keep it around the 1,000 pip range, okay? If it's anything way more than that, then it's invalid. All right, so what I see is I see price bounces off some level of support right here and bounces off some level of resistance right here. So if anything, somewhere around here, right, in between these two is where price keeps on going, right? So this would be my beginning of my foundation, right? And I have a template right here where I go to monthly key levels, and the style looks exactly like this. So it's a black line, thin, straight line, where the text alignment is to the right and to the bottom, and it says monthly in capitals. Okay, and the specific coordinates that I had from the beginning were this one is 1.71747. This is exactly where I had it from the beginning. So you see touch and somewhat touch, but it's okay. All right. And then from there, I'll just copy that, paste, and where do I see another level? All right. Somewhere around here, because I see touch right here, kind of gap right here, touch right here, but it's not really that much. Honestly, it should be like, if anything, this is okay. This is all right, even though it's kind of like fuzzy in there. It just can't be more than 1,000 pips. We see that price literally comes and finds this section right here. We see price is going down as far as wicks right here. We see price find some level of support right here, find some level of support and bounces up, goes down, find some level where it keeps on wicking, and then also at this point right here is where price literally started. All right, started price right here in 1993. So the specific location that I found was 95. Okay, literally exactly there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so this is my foundation. So if anything, you don't have to type this in, it'll look kind of tacky, but this is my foundation area. Okay, this is my foundation inside here. Now, the difference between these two values, this one and this one, okay, so I'm going to pull out my calculator, right? So 1.71747, okay, minus this one right here, so 1.57895. So this is the difference between these two values, right? And what I'm going to do is literally just take that distance and just make what we call zone 1, okay? So I'm going to take that difference, right, and add it to this number right here. So plus 1.71747, right? And I'm just going to make this line this number right here. Okay. 855. And then you'll just see the difference between this number and this number is the same thing as this number and that number. So this is considered as, and again, you don't have to write in these zone 1 and zone 2 and stuff like that. I'm just showing you what it is. Okay. Zone 1. So this is zone 1. Okay. And then from there, all right, I'm literally just going to add the difference between that first foundation in between this, right? And I already have the value. I don't have the value yet. So I'm just going to take that number plus 0.1 3852 9945. Boom. Okay, and this is considered zone 2. Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll literally take this and then just do the same thing, but just subtract. All right, so I'll take that number right there, 1.57895 minus 0.13852. 2, and then I'll have that number. I already have it written down. 3. All right. So again, this is zone 1. Okay. And then from there, boom, just subtract again. And this is 0. Okay. So what you'll tend to see is that you'll tend to see whenever you make this, right? So you see it kind of touches this, touch that, touch this. As far as these wicks right here, the wicks come up here. It consolidates heavy for months, which is crazy. That must have been annoying. And then from there, drops like heck, which is a major drop. So it was annoying for a while, and it drops hard. All right. And then as you can see right here on the foundation, literally is just hovering on that, and it literally picks up. And then hovers around that monthly level, and then it kicks down to that monthly level right here, kicks up, tries to reach that, kicks down to that monthly level, and then consolidates on this monthly level, pushes up on that monthly level right here, pushes down, pushes up on that monthly, consolidates around that monthly, pushes down, pushes up on that monthly, and then now, right now, it's literally on the monthly key level. That's why I decided to if anything, do this right now. Being the fact I'm going to focus on this chart. All right, so zone. All right, this is zone 2. All right, so now weekly. We're going to take weekly. So remember, the difference between this number and this number, as far as in our foundation, was this number right here, 0.13852. So I'm just going to literally divide that number by 2. It'll be this number right here, and I'll just take my foundation, right, and just add this number to my foundation, right? So I'm gonna write down that number. It's 0.06926, and this is for my weeklies. Okay. So literally just, and then I'm just going to change it template to weekly, right? And then this is the style. So same black, thin, a straight line, but now weekly is to the left, to the bottom, size 12, right? And the coordinates that I have for that one are 4, 8. And then it literally does it right in between. That's why I divide by 2. And you'll see kind of a gap, right? Wicks through, consolidates heavy, touch, overlap, right? Overlap, but literally it's just hovering around that heavy, okay? As we can see. So how did I come up with that number? I literally took the difference between the monthly foundation, right, divided it by 2, right, and then take this plus the number that we came up with. So again, this number is the difference between the monthly and the monthly foundation divided by 2. I take this number right here and add it to that number that we came up with. So that number plus 1.57895. Now, if this is like, and as you can see, this number right here is literally the exact same number that we have here. If like I'm kind of going kind of fast when it comes to the numbers and stuff like that, just work out the numbers and play with the numbers. Right? Take the difference between this number and this number. All right. So pause the video. What's the difference between this number and this number? You're gonna come up with a number, right? Whatever that number is, divided by 2. All right. You'll come up with a number, and then add that number to this, and you'll come up with this value, and you'll see how I came up with this, right? So now, just to keep it simple, all right, this weekly key level right here, all right, I need this weekly, so I'm going to copy paste. I need this weekly to be somewhere in the middle of this, but I want it to be exact. So how am I going to come up with that? Well, the foundation, as you can see, this number is literally going to be the same distance as what the monthly foundations is, right? So I'm going to take the difference between the monthly right here, right? What that number is, which we came up from the beginning, 0.13852, right? So I'm going to take this number, this weekly, and just add the same exact thing, 1 point, right? So this number right here for the weekly, right? So 1.64821 plus the difference between the monthlies. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going to come up with some value, right? 1.78673. And I'm going to put it for this one. 1.78. And you'll see it. It'll be literally right in between. And then I'll just do the same thing for this right here. I already have the number. 525. Boom. And then, so that's in between zone 2. Being the fact that price broke through there, right, I'm going to, if anything, just make it on top of there as well. And the number that I came up with, 6. So as you can see, for this weekly right here, price touches here, well, kind of, right? And you see these wicks really pushing hard for it. And it was saying, hey, listen, I'm going towards that weekly, and then drops hard, like for months. Like, this is ridiculous, man. Just imagine you catching this whole thing, 5,000 pips in literally, I don't know how many months it is. Well, let's just do it to this. Right, 150 days, and you're getting 5,000 pips. That's beautiful. But just imagine you're also getting many entries in between that based upon the way that we trade. So now we'll take that first foundation weekly that we have and just subtract to get in between here and the number that we have. Boom. Last one, 2, 3. Okay. And what do you see here? We see that price kind of gapped this, right? If anything, price probably gapped that portion right here, right? And then we see on this weekly that, you know, price kind of like sat on that and pushed up. Went to this monthly right here, and then right now it's at another monthly. So if I was to zoom in, or I go to a lower time frame, like the weekly, I'll see that, hey, listen, price is literally, you know, it's wicking out right here. You see that wick, 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 wick on the weekly. So most likely price is going to shoot, start shooting up at that point right there. And what I did was I also started drawing some trend lines and stuff like that, just seeing what's going on. Trend line opportunities. To change this to random line color. I'm sure I can do this once. So, feature. Just have, you know, point A here, and point B right here. Boom. Right. If anything, price would probably start shooting up to that weekly. If anything, I also saw a trend line opportunity right here. Right. This point right here. So point A. Point A up here. And right here. And if anything, that, you know, like this probably won't be relevant for a while. The fact that price is nowhere around there. But if anything, at some point in time, something may happen around this point, you know, maybe, or at least like down here or something like that. So, you know, I'm just drawing some random stuff. And if anything, I'll probably draw something right here. You never know. So another Point A there, and then point B. Okay, so that's how you draw your monthly and weekly key levels, right? Again, what this is going to be able to do is on a lower time frame, you'll start to just see stuff, right? And then whenever price gets around that point, you may tend to see, price start just doing stuff, right? As you can see, price is kind of pushing away from that monthly. And what I'm going to do next, I'm also going to, see if there's anything that may happen in the future. Okay, so hopefully this helps you out. If anything, if you're working on GU, right? If instead of just like copying the numbers, do it for yourself and see if you have anything close, right? Also, if you're looking at any other pairs, if anything, draw your monthly and key and weekly key levels, and if anything, it may help you out. Okay, guys. So write a comment if this helped you out in any way. If you have any other ideas of any other videos I could be able to actually create, let me know in the comments as well. And also share this with somebody else that is looking to really take, their FX game to a new level. All right. So greatly appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next video. Good.